Hello boys and girls, how are you doing? I hope you are all doing well. My name is Aliya Karieva. I'm your English language teacher. Shall we start our English language lesson? Today we are going to talk about comparisons, how to use the with comparatives, and how to use modifiers with s. Objectives of our lesson today. First, we are going to learn how to use the structure the with comparatives. Second, we are going to learn how to use the modifiers with s. And third, we are going to practice using the structures the with comparatives and modifiers with s. Now, I want you to look at the screen. What do you see? Who knows? Yes, you are right. These are all signatures of famous people. Can you recognize them? This is Michael Jackson's signature. Do you know who is Michael Jackson? Yes, you are right. Michael Jackson was an American singer, songwriter, and dancer. He was called the King of Pop. This is Thomas Edison's signature. Who was Thomas Edison? Who knows? Thomas Edison was an American inventor and businessman. His inventions include the phonograph, the motion picture camera, and early version of the electric bulb. Do you know this person? Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was an American activist who was the leader in the civil rights movements from 1955 until his assassination in 1968. Do you know who is Picasso? Picasso was a Spanish painter-sculptor who spent most of his adult life in France. His most famous work is Guernica. Do you know Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton is an American politician and attorney who served as the 42nd President of the USA from 1993 to 2001. And the only lady in our list, Jacqueline Kennedy. Jacqueline Kennedy was an American writer, literature editor, and photographer who became the First Lady of the United States as the wife of the President John F. Kennedy. When we look at the signatures of different people and want to study their personality, we call it graphology. What is graphology? Graphology, first of all, it is a noun. Graphology is the study of people's handwriting in order to discover what sort of personality they have. Graphology. The stress is on the second syllable. Repeat after me, please. Graphology. Graphology. Good job. What is signature? Signature is a noun. Signature is your name written in your own way, often at the end of the document to indicate that you wrote the document. Now, I want you to read an extract from a book about graphology. Do you believe that our signature might say something about your personality? Let's see. What your signature says about you. Your signature is the part of your handwriting that says the most about your personality. It is quite common for your signature to change during your life because it reflects how you develop and evolve as a person. You may have more than one signature. For example, a more formal signature, name and surname, when you sign a credit card or your passport. And an informal signature, just your first name, when you sign a birthday card. Our signature is very much part of the way in which we present ourselves to the world. So, it can give some important clues about the kind of person we are and how we feel about ourselves. Now, you're going to listen to an expert in graphology talking about how to interpret somebody's personality from their signature. But you don't just read and listen. Your task is to complete the notes on the right. What is in your signature? Are you ready? Now let's listen.
1.17. What's in your signature?
Our signature is very much part of the way in which we present ourselves to the world, so it can definitely give us some clues about the kind of person we are and how we feel about ourselves. As you know, a person's signature usually consists of a first name and a surname, or an initial and a surname. Your first name represents your private self, how you are with your family, and your surname represents your public self, the way you are at work or school, and in your social life. If you use only initials either for your first name or your surname in your signature, this means that you're more secretive and protective about either your private or public self. Now, look at the space between your name and surname. Are the two names very close together, or is there a reasonable space between them? The more space there is between your name and your surname, the more you wish to keep these two parts of your personality separate.
Well, what is in your signature? Your first name represents your private self. What about your surname? Your surname represents your public self. What about the space between your name and signature? The more space there is between your name and your surname, the more you wish to keep these two parts of your personality separate. Yes, you're right. The bigger the space, the more you want to keep the two parts of your personality separate. Do you believe this? Don't you want to check? But we are going to talk about grammar. Today we are going to talk about usage of the with comparatives. Let's look at our sentence from the text. The sentence is, the more space there is between your name and your surname, the more you wish to keep separate these two parts of your personality. When do we use the? We use the with comparative adjective or adverb to show that one thing depends on another. Let's look at the example. The sooner we start, the earlier we will finish. It means how soon we will finish depends on when we start. And one more example. The colder it is, the more clothes you need to wear to keep warm. What does it mean? It means how many clothes you need to wear depends on how cold it is. Now let's practice. You can find 4 sentences on the screen. Your task is to rewrite the sentences using the plus comparative construction. You have 1 minute only to do this work. Start now, please. Okay, now let's check your answers. Sentence number 1. If you study a lot, you learn a lot. But we should use the with comparative. What do you have? The more we study, the more we learn. Sentence number 2. If we leave soon, we will get there earlier. The sooner we leave, the earlier we will get there. Sentence number 3. If you have a lot of time, you do things slowly. The more time you have, the more slowly we do things. Sentence number 4. If you are fit, you feel good. The fitter you are, the better you feel. I hope you have the same answers. Now, let's continue. On the screen, you see sentence halves. Under numbers from 1 till 8, you can find the beginning of the sentence. Below, under the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, you find the end of the sentences. Your task is to match the beginning of the sentence with the end of the sentence to make complete sentences. I will help you. We'll do the first sentence together. The more dangerous the sport, the more I enjoy it. Yes, you're right. The answer is H. Now, you have 1 minute to finish all the other sentences. Start now, please. Well, it's time to check your answers. Let's look at the second sentence. The longer I waited, the angrier I got. The answer is A, right. Sentence number 3. The more hours you do in this job, the more you earn. Right. The answer is G. Sentence number 4. The younger you are, the easier it is to learn something. Excellent. The answer is B. Sentence number 5. The older you are, the harder it is to make new friends. It is true. The answer is D. Sentence number 6. The later we leave, the more traffic there will be. The answer is F. Sentence number 7. The longer I stay in bed, the worse I feel. The answer is E. And the last sentence, sentence number 8. The faster you drive, the more likely you are to have an accident. The answer is C. Well done. Good job. One more exercise to practice. Now, you need to rewrite the sentences using the plus comparative. Let's do the first sentence together. The sentence is, if we start soon, we will finish soon. What do we have? The sooner we start, the sooner we will finish. Now, you have 1 minute to finish all the other sentences. Start now, please. Shall we check? Are you ready with your answers? Sentence number 2. If a car is big, it uses a lot of petrol. Yes, you're right. The bigger a car is, the more petrol it uses. Sentence number 3. When you get old, you become wise. The older you get, the wiser you become. Sentence number 4. If people have a lot of things, they want more. The more things people have, the more they want. Sentence number 5. If the weather is hot, you need to drink more. The hotter the weather is, the more you need to drink. Sentence number 6. When you know her more, you like her less. The more you know her, the less you like her. Sentence number 7. If you cook it slowly, it will taste good. The more slowly you cook it, the better it will taste. And the last sentence. If we do a lot of work now, we will have less to do tomorrow. The more work we do now, the less we will have to do tomorrow. Well done! Now, look at the screen, please. You can see a chair and a table. How much do they cost? Chair costs £200. Table also costs £200. So, what can I say about chair and a table? I can say that the chair is as expensive as the table. We use as plus adjective plus s to say that two things or people are the same in some way. We can see that the price of the chair and the table is the same. Let's look at one more example. You are as old as me. What does it mean? It means that we are at the same age. Well, now you know when we use comparison as and as. Let's practice. On the screen, you can find 5 sentences. Your task is to complete each sentence so that it means the same as the one above it. Your task is to use as plus adjective plus s. Let's look at the example. We say, Sweden is bigger than Britain. I want to write the second sentence that means the same as the first one. What shall I do? I will say, Britain isn't as big as Sweden, because Sweden is bigger than Britain. Now you have 1 minute to do the same with those 5 sentences that you can see on your screen. Start now, please. So, what do you have? Let's check your answers. Sentence number 1. You are very angry and I'm very angry also. Yes, I am as angry as you. Sentence number 2. The seats at the front are more expensive than the seats at the back. Right, the seats at the back aren't as expensive as the seats at the front. Sentence number 3. Her last film was very good, and her new film is also very good. What do I say about her? I say her new film is as good as her last film. Sentence number 4. The other students work harder than him. He doesn't work as hard as the other students. Sentence number 5. Central Park in New York is bigger than Hyde Park in London. What do you say? You say, Hyde Park in London isn't as big as Central Park in New York because it is bigger. Yes, well done. You are absolutely right. Now, I want you to complete the sentences. On the screen, you can find 4 pictures. Your sentences are about those pictures. Your task is to complete the sentences about each picture. Use SS and an adjective from the box. The first one has been done for you. We can see in the picture that carrots don't cost the same as cabbage. And you say, the carrots aren't as cheap as the cabbages because carrots are more expensive. Now, you have 1 minute to finish other 4 sentences. Start now, please. Shall we check? Are you ready? Sentence number 1. The black car is going as fast as the blue car. They are going on the same speed. Right. Sentence number 2. The footballers aren't as tall as the basketball players. We can see this on the picture, right? Sentence number 3. Janet's hair is as long as Kathy's hair. Again, we can see this in the picture. Sentence number 4. The car on the left isn't as clean as the car on the right because it is dirty, right? Well done. I'm sure that you have all your answers right. That is all for today. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.